Yeah, proud of our team. I loved our energy, our effort, and most of all, our intention. I thought we really played for each other, and we continued to play hard defensively. We really challenged our guys that every possession matters, and we have to build our habits this time of year. And I thought our guys did a tremendous job of it. We saw a huge improvement from UNLV and Boise in regards to our defensive positioning and like walling up at the rim. We'd been turning sideways or giving up too much stuff at the rim, and I thought our guys did a really good job tonight. Especially number 4, Scott. I remember when he was in junior college, he was one of the top junior college players in the country, and obviously went to Mississippi State for a little bit. He's a super talented kid, and I thought we did a great job making him score over our length and to make tough shots. And so, really proud of our guys. 21 assists, 10 made threes. I thought we did a really good job. Getting the interior guys going early and establishing a presence and getting them in foul trouble and knocking down free throws. But, the one that I'm really proud of is Bryson Tucker. To get 10 rebounds, and he could have had 15 or 16. He went every time. And it's something that we've been really, talking. That's where he can be effective because he's so athletic. You saw in his lob plays. But that type of effort, that's – everybody on our team has to have that type of effort, and I thought they did tonight.
Who'd like to lead us off?
Coach, the first time I saw Bryson, he just looked like he was still trying to fit in, didn't look like he had a lot of confidence, but tonight he came out here, had a couple dunks. Like you said, he had 10 rebounds. Is there something that's just clicked with him?
Yeah, I think he's aggressive, and when he's going to the offensive glass and playing with that force, it kind of engages him more in the game, and he's got to continue to do that. His defense can spurt his offense. You saw how athletic he is. He's our most athletic, bouncy, fast twitch guy. A couple of those lobs, they were above the white square, and he just kind of hung up there until the ball got to him and just caught it and dunked it. But that's how talented he is. And like I said, I'm proud of him. Because I have been coaching him hard because I know what his talent can do. And like I tell him, when he's aggressive and really engaged like that, he's really hard to deal with.
At one time you had 3 point guards. I don't know if you call Zoom a 3 point. You had Zoom out there, you had Kamari out there, and you had JJ. Can you talk about that lineup a little bit?
Yeah, I love playing like that. When you have multiple handlers on the floor, you have multiple guys that can create off ball screen. You have multiple guys that can get in the paint and find guys and shoot it. And, that's the way we got to continue to play. And we'll only add to that when we add Desmond to that mix, because he's a tremendous ball and hand guard that gets the ball to the paint at will. And, and we have to make teams guard us. We have to be in attack mode all the time. We have to get to the free throw line 33 to 40 times a game. We have to make guys try to guard us one-on-one. We still got to clean up our spacing a little bit to give our drivers a little more space. But like I said, I was proud of our aggressiveness and our intent tonight with that.
The first challenge in school history. Just
yeah.
What was the thinking that Toronto went into that? Were you prompted by Wesley, or how are you guys gonna sort of figure that out?
A little bit by Wesley, but obviously our manager behind the bench who has the iPad and the replay. He was the one that gave me the information.
Is it a new wrinkle that you like, or to have to look down and figure things out, or do you not like the challenge?
I like it as long as it works for us. I'm sure there'll be some times this year where I get pissed off at it, but I like it because it's the right call. Like I said, refs are human too. Every call is not going to be great, but as long as we get it right in the end, it's beneficial.
At the start of the game, just with sort of the way that Hannes kind of sort of gets you guys going, can you sort of talk about just his first 2 baskets and the way that it seems like you guys are, again, it's early, but are starting to feed off of him?
Yeah, we are. He's just so talented when he gets the ball, and you saw he might be our best passer. He's tremendous. He's like I said before, he's a de facto point guard, in a 6'11" body. He short rolls, and he fired a pass. I can't remember if it was to Wes or Kamari in the second half, and it was so fast, his decision making, and the ball was on target. And once we get all our guards passing that ball on target, then our shooting percentages go up. And but that's just what he does. And like I said, he gets us going because he is a mismatch. It doesn't matter who you guard him with. If you guard him one-on-one, he's going to score or get a good shot up, or he's going to create something for somebody else.
And then what's the update with Des?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll get him back, some point this week. I don't know if it'll be in time for Denver. Hopefully I have some more information tomorrow.
Danny, you talked about the upside of the passing, 21 assists, but you guys also had 14 turnovers. What did you see from that, and how can you clean that up?
Yeah, our turnovers were a little sloppy. We had 4 early, and I think in the first 3 minutes we had 4. Whether it wasn't reading the help side where Hannes had, they're going to shrink the floor on us a lot this year. And we have to be able to read the help and move the ball quicker than that, not try to force it into tight spaces. And then on our post feeds to our post guys, you can't bounce the ball in. We were sloppy with some bounce passes. They're showing high hands, throw it to their hand. And, that's a recipe for a turnover when you're bounce passing on the perimeter.
And then what did Kamari Peterson show you tonight?
What we've all known as our staff and our team knows now. Not knows now, he's a tough kid. He's a great player. He's a great shooter. He hasn't played in 4 weeks, fellas. He hasn't been able to run for 4 weeks. He just came back 2 days ago. One of them was a non-contact day, and the other day we barely did any contact, and that's why he started cramping up out there today. And so he's just a tough kid, man. You can see he's got a great feel for the game. He's tough. He's always in the right position defensively, and that's why our team named him captain. They named him, Frank, and Zoom captains. I had our team measure each player, rank them 1 through 15 on care factor for the program, care factor for their teammates, on Ubuntu, being unselfish. And those 3 were the top 3 in every category, which shows me, like I said, that's more important than winning games. What your teammates think of you and the respect they have, that means a lot. And for somebody like him that just came in and he's been out for 4 weeks, to still get that is pretty impressive.
You talk a little bit about your rotation, starting Frank, bringing Lathan in, and they were going in and out quite a bit. You had Lathan in there with Frank at times, and you were also without Christian tonight, it looked like.
Yeah, and that's how we have to play. And like I said, we will go small. I would love to get Frank in there 90 to 120 seconds and then out. And then get him back in for another 90 seconds and, let him rest. And that way, I want full force on guys for 40 minutes at that 4 and 5 spot. And it doesn't wear them down. We need these guys to be fresh January, February, March too. And, and that's one way to keep constant pressure on people. And that's what teams did to us last year in the Big Ten. Really we had Wilhelm and Great last year. And so it was hard where they just get worn down by the second half when bodies are just keep running at you. And we need to be able to do that, and that's why we need to get, Jacob back, also when he comes off injury, because he's like Kamari. He's got a tremendous feel, and he's one of our best shooters, him and Kamari. So, we will have some depth, and hopefully we'll be able to keep guys fresh. Yeah, and I don't know about Christian yet, and so I wish I had more information on him. But it looks like he might make the decision that he wants to redshirt.
Danny, I think I saw more three-point shooters in purple shirts or out there than I have in maybe half a dozen years. You feel pretty good about the guys, so many guys being able to shoot behind the line?
I do. Like I tell these guys, to be aggressive, have their feet set. We have multiple guys that can make threes. And, our spacing still needs to get a little better. And our passing, to keep that percentage. I think we shot 40% tonight and made 10. But I thought we were getting good shots. Even the ones we missed were good shots. But, yeah, I have no problem with any of our guys shooting. Even Lathan, and I know it didn't go the way he wanted tonight, from 3, but, he can shoot the basketball. When he has his feet set and he's not thinking about it, I have no problem with him shooting it.
Do you have to kind of urge Hannes to do it? He launched one and hit it.
No, he knows when he's open, he's a good shooter. He really is, and he works at it. He's even in some of our inter squad stuff, when we're practicing, he makes multiple threes, and it's part of his game that like I said, he's worked on a lot, and I hope people don't guard him out there.
Is the Christian E2 injury, is that the toe injury he's been dealing with?
He's
or is
not
that something
injured.
Different?
Yeah, he just decided to redshirt. He's not injured at all. He's actually, he's healthy.
With Hannes, is it ever getting to a point where you are maybe forcing him or want him to take sort of more shots because he's so efficient?
No, because like we stress making the right basketball play, and and that's one thing for our team to be as good as we can be, because we do have multiple guys that have been scorers at their former schools. We have multiple guys like where their instinct is to score, and we have to somewhat train those instincts to just making the right basketball play. If you get 2 on you, get it to it. We got good enough players, pass the ball. And you saw a couple times tonight, like when we over dribble, nothing good happens. Like the paint is going to be shrunk, and so we have to get better at making the right play quicker, like processing quicker and moving the basketball, getting drives, getting our spacing right. For us moving forward against some teams that we're going to play.
First college game for JJ. Obviously, he's played in some big games before, but first college game here. What did you think of his performance?
Yeah, I thought obviously he had 8 assists. I thought he was forcing it a little bit offensively. Even early on with his shot a little bit. Because he's really good at, we call it stampede, like our drive, like catching and like ripping and going downhill, and that's when he's elite. He's our best stampede guy. And I thought he could have done that a little more tonight instead of settling. And even his first 3 was just out of rhythm. It was kind of a fake, and then he was so open and he shot it. Like I don't mind him at all if he's 1-2 and it's in rhythm. But I thought, he looked a little bit tired out there. And I can't blame him because he hasn't had a sub for a month because we haven't had other players. So like he's had every rep, and we have to do a good job, resting him the next couple days.
And the game on Thursday, just what do you want to see in that game before? Is there any way that your guys were overlooked that game, sort of looking at what comes afterwards, or what would you like to see Thursday?
No, and that's our job as coaches, and that's why we're telling them, like, every possession matters, man. Every possession matters, and we're not good enough to do that with anybody right now. Like, we have to keep working on our habits. We have to get better. And there's going to be some stuff that we're going to see on film after I watch it that we'll show them tomorrow that we have to clean up. And it's all about that process of getting better every possession. And that's why I said I was proud of our guys doing it tonight, especially when you get up 25 or 30. Sometimes it's easy to cheat a little bit on defense or gamble. And I didn't think we did that tonight. And so hopefully we do that Thursday.
Just curious with Nitu, did he just get too far behind after getting injured, do you think?
No, he just decided to redshirt.
So he'd be a better player by doing that?
You'd have to ask him.
Thanks, Coach.
You bet. Thank you.